So, I was going to do I was gonna do a Blu-ray reading right now, but then I realized I don't have time to do it. I don't wanna rush through it, so I figured we could maybe just talk about a few different things, maybe pull a few cards, or maybe not. There's just a lot of shifting of I don't know, just a lot of different things, and I think it can be very confusing for people. I think a lot of the shifting that's going on is your perception of your connections with others, your perception of how other people, um, how you see them fitting into your life, the role that they play. And I mean, that's a huge, huge shift, being able to see your connections with others in a different way, seeing how those connections serve a different purpose than what you thought it would serve. Intense, intense to say the least. It's been a very intense, few hours. Yeah, even just in the past few hours, it has been really, really intense. There is this huge part, um, I think within myself personally, that makes me kind of question everything, everything. Have you been experiencing it too? Yep. Yep. How many of you guys have been experiencing major shifting in the way you see other people, the way you think of how other people fit into your life and your journey? It's difficult. Yes, very intense yet difficult to process. Whew. Whew. That's the kind of sound that I mean, that's the only way for me to really, you know? Um, Hi, Bellanova. So, yeah, such big shifts are happening. They are. I think these big shifts are happening inside us rather than outside of us because that's how we change the world. Shifting the things within us that kind of get us to continue to give our permission to participate in paradigms that no longer serve us actually, it's just one of those really intense moments of awakening, I think. I think that might be what it is. People are showing who they are, and I'm seeing a lot of what I ignored, but I can't anymore. Ooh. Mhm. Mm. I feel that. I definitely feel that to my core. A lot of changes in the way I connect with people who I kind of felt like, they were going to be such a huge long-term part of my journey. Yes, getting warnings from spirit, just like a lot of really interesting things over the past few days that have really opened my eyes to the fact that maybe I wasn't seeing clearly before, these details, these different potentialities that I gave so much power to. Um, when I say gave power to, what I'm talking about is like this belief, like, okay, this is really it. This is really it. This is really my connection. I'm even today I just kind of had this shift in my brain just within the past few hours. Like, what if the person I identified as my divine counterpart, um, meaning like, my coworker, soul bestie, whatever the hell you want to call it. What if I misidentified the individual? What if? What if? And I've spent so much time and energy trying to like negate that, negate that, negate that. And now I'm kind of left with this question of what if I've been wasting this time and energy and it's not even that person. I don't know, I really have this huge feeling in my heart that um whoever my divine counterpart is, like, it wouldn't be an issue that I'm already in an established long term, very happy, very satisfying, loving marriage. You know what I mean? I kind of, because I keep getting this like boop, boop. The boop keeps telling me like there's partner work needing to happen, partner work, partner work, partner work. And I'm like, I don't have a partner. Not for that. I mean, I have a life partner who's amazing, but not that type of like spiritual work partner. And now I'm kind of like, well, if I'm supposed to have a spiritual work partner, if I'm supposed to have a partner to do that kind of work with, that would be someone who could very easily integrate into my life as a happily married woman. And I mean, I may be like all fun and joking around all the time, and sometimes, oftentimes, oftentimes people misunderstand my joking around and like pushing like sarcastic boundaries as me flirting. Yo, if that's the case, I flirt with furniture, I flirt with plants, trees, I flirt with water. I'm like that with a lot of things. Food. Hey, sexy cock. I'm just seriously. Seriously. Okay. So I don't know. I just kind of feel like maybe it's time to kind of um release that, scoop it out of my head and flick it out. So I don't know. There's a lot of shifting going on. A lot. A lot. A lot. So now I'm kind of left to wonder, what the fuck? I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of things that will help give clarity. Where's suddenly having a hot flash? Hot flash. Hair's not oily. That's sweat. Gotta turn on the AC. That's sweat. That's not oil. That's sweat. I'm fucking sweating, which is crazy because I don't sweat. When the connection is strong, you can't stop it at all. Ooh, maminka. I have a super flirty relationship with my bed. You go, girl. Yeah, no, I don't know. Okay. Wow. That really struck me. That really struck me. Let me just tuck that. Maybe that will work. Release the human thought of partnership and expand the universal meaning. Right, right, right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Even partnership that is devoid of like some romantic connotation. I think I think part of what really like I don't know if I conveyed the feeling properly. What made me so combative and resistant to any type of um, divine partner projects um, sorry, was Michael. He kept trying to force shit on me, like force thought processes and stuff. Not force someone on me, but force the thoughts that would lead to certain types of realizations about my own personal journey. Does that make sense? I don't like people telling me what I'm supposed to be thinking about right now. Ever. Ever. Don't even ask me what I'm thinking about. I'm just saying. That makes me so pissed off. Like trying to tell me, like, no, you need to think about this next. No, motherfucker, I think about whatever I want to think about. You don't get to tell me what to think about. I don't care what words you use. I don't care if you, instead of telling me you need to think about this next, you tell me, have you considered? No, I haven't considered. I'm not going to consider. I remember you were saying in one of your streams that divine partners lead to ascended mastery work. If you say I did, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember more than 90% of what I say in videos. I seriously only have wanted to know my energetic counterpart to assist with my energy work, like a bouncer. Um, yeah, no, like, I would love to know my authentic divine counterpart so that we could kind of like bounce ideas off our heads, like, ooh, what do you think about this? Oh, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to have no, like, hey, what you wearing type of bouncing ideas. Like, fuck that shit. Seriously, seriously. My thing is like, okay, this is just my thoughts. If your divine counterpart, your, your, okay, um, it's supposed to be like this reflection of you, like a mirror of you. That's helpful in that I can now see all of my own fuckery. Because most people have a really hard time calling me out on my own fuckery. Because I'm just really good at negating whatever you have to say to me. If I don't want to hear it, I will instantly find a way to negate that. Okay. That's just how I function. That's how I function. And so when you're placed in front of a divine counterpart, an authentic one, then without even trying, I think it's the trying that gives me that advance notice of I'm gonna turn this shit around. Turn this. You can't force me to talk about things I don't want to talk about. So I think though that when you're in the presence of an actual divine counterpart, an authentic one, it's just through interaction that you begin to see some of the behaviors that you exhibit. But just because someone exhibits the same type of toxicity, same form of toxicity that you are very comfortable, um, you're very comfortable doing, that doesn't necessarily mean they're your counterpart, right? That could potentially mean that you're just ready to see now that particular aspect of how some of your toxicity is expressed in your life. So now I'm like, what does this even mean? I've spent all this time fighting something that was just bullshit. Give me something real to fight, Michael. But I shouldn't even say that kind of shit because then he takes me serious and then he really brings something real for me to fight. I don't actually want to fight. I'm being sassy. Too many see it as romance. Right. Right. I think that's what the problem is. I definitely think that's what the problem is. The first person that identified, because I recognized um, their energy as like a twin type of energy. We still have a friendship. Um, I think because at that point, I was like, yeah, no, I was supposed to run away with you. Are you kidding? Please don't be stupid. I totally told him that because I was like, oh my God, I think you're like a twin. And then he read up on it and he's like, oh my God. So what does that mean? Like, what about your kids? I'm like, what do you mean? What about my kids? What the fuck are you talking about? Like my kids are my kids. And then he was like, well, are we supposed to be together? No, are you fucking kidding me? No, we're not. And then he was like, oh, thank God, because that I was like, how is this? I was like, no, don't be stupid. That's just weird shit. What are you even talking about? And then he was like, well, I don't know. That's just what I read. And I was like, no, all of that's bullshit. And he's like, oh, okay. So we're still friends. We're still friends. That first person that I identified, um, he's even met my family. He's met my children. He's met my husband. Him and my husband are cool, like, I mean, he even like visited and spent the night, not with me, but in the living room with my dog. With my dog, and it was very interesting because um he is like a reptile breeder. Um and so he brings with him his pets. And when he came to visit, he brought two bearded dragons. One of the beardies he had for a long time already, and she's just very docile and just amazing. And then he brought with him Diabolito, which was a new baby beardy. And that when he was talking about how it's hella wicked to people, and I was like, I don't want to touch him. Are you kidding me? I don't want to get bit or pooped on. And he put Diabolito on me, and he was like, oh, that's weird. I've never seen him be this chill with someone before. And then my dog, my pit bull, totally was so chill around him, and doing the same type of like playful things that she does just with me. So it was interesting. It was interesting that the animals saw the resonance between our energy, but at no point was there like, oh, we're gonna have to run away together. That's just fucking stupid. I'm sorry. That might work for people who are in relationships or partnerships that they're already unhappy in, and they're looking for a reason to end that relationship. I mean, maybe they just don't have the courage to be like, this relationship is not working, so it's time for me to move on. And so they are looking for something, a reason, an excuse of some kind to leave that relationship they're currently in. And what better excuse than twin flame stuff? I don't know. If I'm going to leave my marriage, it's because my marriage is no longer working and that's done. I'm not like, oh, let me see what's out there. Oh, hey. Okay, now I have an excuse to leave my. No, I don't think so. That's just weird shit to me. I don't function like that. I don't think like that. I don't process like that. It's just weird. Um, You've been asking the universe for female close friends. It's been a long time since I had that. Well, for most of my life, I had no real female close friends. Um, I have a very, well, I had a very toxic view of females. Despite being a female, most of my friends were always guys. And when I became my own friend, when I began to really do some work within myself, sounds super cliche, um, I began to allow myself to be in the presence of other women, in like a casual setting. And I did still experience toxicity. And I didn't allow that repeating toxic cycle to affect me and how I'm growing myself. And one day I just kind of realized, oh shit, I actually have non toxic female friends. Now, there's only like a very small few. I don't know, like a handful or maybe less than a handful that are my actual um, female friends. I don't really have any more guy friends. Um, well, guy friends that I connect with the way I used to connect with guy friends, where like you're my bestie, I'm talking to you all day, things like that. I'm now able to have that kind of really close connection with other females. So maybe instead of asking the universe for female close friends, maybe the better, more powerful question to ask is for the universe to provide you with the ability and willingness to become your own friend, and then reflect within your environment people who are at the same level of self-healing and compassion and all of that. I'm live right now, Ben. I'm live. Sorry. So I'm about to not be live because I have to get to my next session. But yeah, just a lot of shifting today, a lot of consideration of maybe it's time for me to kind of shake up the containers that have everyone's little label of who and what they are for me in this journey. Maybe shake that up, maybe empty the containers, um, and see if they get refilled with something else. Um, I'm just ready to grow to a higher level of understanding, a higher level of consciousness that gives me the opportunity to shed away things from the past that are still I don't know, like toxic to me in some way. Maybe it's not like in your face type of toxicity, but I feel like there's still some sort of toxicity that stems from old perceptions of old, like, kind of connection. I don't know. I don't know. What if you are fully invested in the friend and she on another level doesn't reach out after talking about let's hang out? Well, I hope this doesn't offend you, Yvonne, but that sounds like codependency. That doesn't sound like coexisting. Like, I'm the type of friend where you're going to have to be okay with my process. So I can maybe be very hot and no, well, not heavy. Hot and heavy is like sexual connotation, like very intense in our communication, like communicating all day for like 2 weeks. And then suddenly for like 5, 6 months, I'm mute, I'm gone, and that has to be okay. That has to be okay. It's not necessarily that you did something wrong. Well, I don't know what your personal circumstance is, but it's not always that you did something wrong. They no longer want to be your friends. Sometimes people are just ambiverts and they flip from being very social to being very introverted within themselves. And real friendships can stand that test. And it's not necessarily that I'm testing, it's that this is my process. And if people can't um if people can't accept that, uh, that friendship usually ends. For me personally, it usually ends just because I can't keep being quiet about my hurt that you're not okay with me being who I am. I don't know. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. My session's starting. I will come live after the session to do the Blu-ray. That's why I was gonna go live, but I just decided to talk to you guys anyways. So I hope this talk did something for someone. Thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Make sure the all is selected. And I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye.